Did you know that 92% of people never reach their full potential? The secret lies not in what you do, but in how deeply you understand yourself. In the next few minutes, I'll show you a powerful technique that's helped thousands unlock achievements they never thought possible. This is not just another self-help video. This is about discovering your true hidden potential. You know that feeling? When you're lying in bed at night and your mind starts wandering? When you ask yourself, is this really all there is to life? We're all caught up in this crazy race, chasing deadlines, scrolling through social media, rushing from one task to the next. But here's the thing. When was the last time you actually stopped? I mean, really stopped, looked in the mirror, and asked yourself the hard questions. Think about it for a moment. When did you last check if your actions match your dreams? If your daily routine is actually leading you toward your true purpose? For most of us, and trust me, I've been there, the honest answer is, we can't even remember. But what if I told you that the most powerful tool for transformation isn't some secret formula or expensive course? It's something you already have, something so simple, yet so profound, that most people completely overlook it. And that's exactly why 95% of people never reach their full potential. I discovered this the hard way. After years of chasing what I thought was success, I hit a wall. Everything looked perfect on the outside, but inside, I felt empty, lost. Until I learned the one question that changed everything, a question that I'm about to share with you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to take you on a journey. Not just any journey, but one that could completely transform how you see yourself, your life, and your possibilities. This isn't about quick fixes or temporary solutions. This is about unlocking who you truly are. Let's talk about something that really matters. Something that could completely change your life. You see, self-reflection isn't just another self-help buzzword. It's actually the key that unlocks everything else. Think about it this way. We all have those moments, right? Those quiet times when we know deep down that something needs to change. Maybe it's in our relationships, our career, or just the way we see ourselves. Self-reflection is like having an honest conversation with your truest self. And yes, it takes real courage to look in that mirror. Trust me, I know. It's not always comfortable to face what we might find. But here's the beautiful thing. Every time we dare to look deeper, to really understand what's holding us back, we're actually taking the first step towards something amazing. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, everything becomes clearer. When we take the time to reflect on our experiences, to really examine our relationships and what we truly value, something incredible happens. We don't just see ourselves differently. We begin to understand the whole world in a new way. And you know what's fascinating? This process, this journey of self-discovery, it's actually the foundation of every major breakthrough in our lives. Every single person who's achieved something meaningful started right here with this simple but powerful practice. But before we dive deeper, let's talk about something truly powerful, something that's absolutely essential for unlocking your true potential. You see, self-reflection isn't just some optional extra in life. It's not something we do when we have spare time. No, it's absolutely crucial for living a life that really matters. When we actually pause, when we really take that time to look within, something remarkable happens. We start seeing patterns in our lives. We notice those little habits, those subtle tendencies that might be holding us back. You know, we're living in this crazy world that's constantly screaming, go, go, go. Everyone's telling us to push harder, move faster, do more. But here's the truth. Real growth, real transformation, it happens in those quiet moments when we dare to slow down, when we have the courage to just listen. So let me ask you something. Are you ready? Really ready to take this first step on your journey of self-discovery? Look, I get it. Many of us, we put this off. We keep pushing it away. And you want to know why? Because we're scared. Scared of what we might find when we look inside. We worry about facing our truths, our flaws, those parts of ourselves we try to hide. We fear our own limitations, our insecurities. But here's the beautiful truth. Self-reflection isn't about beating yourself up. It's not about finding all the things wrong with you. No. It's about understanding, about learning, about growing into the person you're truly meant to be. You know what I hear all the time? I'm just too busy for this. I've got too much on my plate. I'm barely keeping up as it is. Listen, I get it. I really do. When we're juggling work, family, and everything else life throws at us, taking time for self-reflection might feel like, well, like a luxury we just can't afford. But here's the thing. This isn't just some optional extra in life. This isn't about pampering yourself. This is about taking care of the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. Now, maybe you're sitting there thinking, but where do I even start? Maybe the whole idea of diving into your life, your memories, your experiences, it feels overwhelming. I understand that. But what if I told you that self-reflection doesn't have to be this huge, complicated thing? It could be as simple as taking 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, to write down your thoughts, or finding a quiet moment to breathe and reflect on your day. I know some of us are holding back because, well, let's be honest, we're scared. Scared to face our own biases. Scared to confront our limitations. Scared to admit that maybe, just maybe, we're not always right. But here's what's beautiful about this journey. It's not about becoming perfect. It was never about that. It's about growing, understanding, and yes, learning to be more compassionate with ourselves. And let me tell you something really important. Something I wish someone had told me years ago. Self-reflection isn't just for people who are struggling. It's not just for those who feel lost or broken. This journey, this incredible path of self-discovery, it's for anyone who wants more. More authenticity, more meaning, more fulfillment. It's for anyone who looks in the mirror and knows, deep down, that they're capable of becoming even more than they are today. You know what's really interesting? Sometimes, the hardest person to be honest with is ourselves. We shy away from our emotions, our fears, those quiet doubts that keep us up at night. And yes, sometimes we're afraid to admit that we're not always the strong, in-control person we try to be. But here's something beautiful I've learned. These emotions we try to hide, they're not our enemies. They're actually messengers, trying to tell us something important about ourselves. And when we learn to listen, that's when the magic happens. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds like such a lonely journey. I get that. I really do. But here's what's fascinating. Self-reflection doesn't have to be this solitary path we walk alone. In fact, some of the most powerful moments of growth happen when we share our journey with others, when we open up, connect, and create those deep, meaningful relationships. Sure, sometimes we get caught up thinking about our limitations, our mortality, the fact that our time here is precious and finite. But you know what? That's exactly why this matters so much. Because self-reflection isn't about dwelling on our limits. It's about embracing every moment we have. It's about living fully, deeply, authentically. So let's talk about something really exciting. How do we actually do this? How do we make self-reflection a natural part of our daily lives? One of my absolute favorite tools, and I mean, this has been a game changer, is journaling. Now, before you think, oh, not another diary thing, let me tell you, journaling is like having a conversation with your wisest self. It's this incredible way to process what's going on in your heart and mind. And the best part, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Now, let me share something else that's absolutely beautiful. Meditation. You know that feeling when your mind is racing with 1,000 thoughts? Well, meditation is like finding the pause button. It's this incredible way of just being present, of stepping back from all the noise and connecting with that quiet voice inside you, the one that actually knows what you need. But hey, sometimes we need a little more support on this journey. That's where guided introspection comes in. Think of it like having a skilled navigator by your side, whether it's a coach, a mentor, or a therapist. And you know what's really powerful? Sharing this journey with others. Because when we open up, when we share our stories and really listen to others, that's when something magical happens. We realize we're not alone. Let me tell you about something that really touched my heart. It's about a dear friend of mine. Her story, well, it still gives me goosebumps every time I share it. She was going through this really dark time with anxiety and depression. You know that feeling when you've tried everything? That's where she was. Therapy, medication, exercise. She checked all the boxes, but nothing seemed to click. Then one day, she picked up a journal. Just a simple notebook, nothing fancy. And she started writing. Just letting everything pour out onto those pages. And something incredible started happening. Like pieces of a puzzle falling into place. She began seeing patterns, understanding her triggers. It was like finally having a map to navigate her own mind. But here's the real breakthrough. She realized something profound. Her anxiety, her depression, they weren't just problems to fix. They were actually messengers, trying to tell her something important about her life. And that's when everything shifted. She started making changes, small ones at first, adjusting her diet, moving her body differently, reassessing her relationships, and slowly, day by day, something beautiful emerged, healing. You know what absolutely amazes me? How one moment of genuine self-reflection can completely transform our lives. These breakthrough moments, they're like switching on a light in a room you've been fumbling around in for years. So, let's take a moment together and think about everything we've discovered today. We've learned something incredibly powerful, haven't we? Self-reflection isn't just some fancy concept. It's this incredible tool that's been sitting in our toolbox all along. And yes, it asks for our honesty. It demands our courage. It requires us to be vulnerable. But oh my goodness, the rewards. They're absolutely life-changing when we dare to look within. Now, I want to share something special with you. I want to give you a challenge, but don't worry. This isn't about moving mountains overnight. Here's what I'm asking. Can you give yourself just a few precious minutes each day? A little moment of quiet where you check in with yourself. Ask yourself some simple but powerful questions like, what made my heart smile today? What achievement, no matter how small, am I proud of? What's challenging me right now? What dream am I nurturing? Take that journal you've been meaning to write in. Find that quiet space you've been promising yourself. Connect with those values that make you uniquely you. And then, watch what happens, because I promise you, something magical begins when you make this commitment to yourself. Before we wrap up, I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Your journey, your insights, your experiences with self-reflection. They matter. They really do. Share them in the comments below, because your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. And hey, if you found this helpful, you're going to love what's coming next. I've got an entire video on personal development strategies that'll take everything we've talked about today to the next level.